Good morning, everybody. Got my coffee in the thrifted cup that says, I've got to learn to relax, which I find absolutely hilarious. I am going to do my Inktober for this morning, and there's a definite crispness in the air this morning when I went out. And yeah, I'm enjoying not having the air conditioner on. It's not cool enough for the heat yet. I'm enjoying that. Going to see how long I can go without turning the heat on and save us some money for the next couple months. It doesn't get real cold here until about January anyway. So if I can reduce that cost, that would be awesome. I think we are still dealing with where we had the floors redone last end of December, early January, the coldest part of our time in South Carolina. Down the entire center of our house, the floors were completely ripped up so you could see dirt under the house for a couple weeks, and our heat just ran, constantly because the breeze that came through would blow through the vents under the house and right into the house. So I was basically heating the outdoors during the coldest part of the, of the year. I can tell you what the temp is here, but I'm trying to recover from that, I think. Plus, it was pretty hot. It's 62 here too, Melanie. So, yeah. Trying to think of ways to save some money. All right, so today we're going to do the branch with berries. So I'm going to do brown and gold and red berries, maybe with a little crazy orange. And maybe these two greens for a few leaves. We'll see what we come up with. We're just pulling all the pins out. You're in the very southern part of Mississippi. So you're down there where when a storm hits the Gulf, you get nailed. I'm really hoping that we can finish out hurricane season with none of us getting hit with anything. Give us a blip and break, Mother Earth. We need a break on, bad weather, floods. We need a break. And we just need some time to recover. All of us, everywhere that's been suffering storms. I mean, North Carolina is still recovering from last year's hurricane. So my son went to some training down there when he was still in the Navy. And he went and visited all the flooded areas. But I think that was like in Louisiana. And he said it was just mind-blowing, the destruction. Good morning. Oh, got a little indigestion this morning. I don't know what's going on. So we're going to do a branch with leaves and berries, I guess. So let's just do a basic branch form coming in. If I can get the pen to write. Something like that. Scott and I, neither one wanted him to go to work today. He was like, I wish I could just stay home. I was like, me too. All right. I'm going to put some few little leaves. That's where he went. He went to Gulfport. He was a CB. That's right. It was Gulfport, Mississippi. But I know that at one point he went into, because he went to Mardi Gras, I think, or he went into Louisiana for something. Good morning, Maria. Yeah, that's why he went there, because he was a CB. He's trained in plumbing and HVAC stuff, but he works in a warehouse now. This is going to just be a made up tree, and we're just going to let it go at that. I'm making it up as I go along. Your hubs is retired Navy. Well, my husband's uncle was World War II Navy, and he worked on a recovery vessel, and they would tow ships that were damaged in the war back to California. And then Scott was in the Navy for 6 years aboard the Edward McDonnell as a radar technician, an ET. And then Greg joined, and he was a member of the Seabees, and he went through basic training, and he got his A schools, and then he got put into a reserve unit, and then that reserve unit was disbanded, so they just let him go, and with the ability to call back until he reached, I think, the age of 36, and he's past that by 3 years now, so they could still call him back, but it's not really likely because he's older. And Scott is well past getting called back too. Scott was going to re-enlist, but then he met somebody because he was going to re-enlist, but then when they told him the ship he'd be put on, he said, never mind, I'll just take my honorable discharge, because he didn't want to go on the ship that they wanted him on. So he did 10 years fleet side. Yeah, I kind of wish sometimes that Greg had been able to experience, some ship work, some active duty type stuff, but it's okay. He's my only kid, so I was worried. You do worry. Whether you're a wife, a girlfriend, a mother, when the kids are in the training. And his pass and review ceremony was held at the beginning of December in Great Lakes, Illinois, and we drove up in a car with no all-season tires. It just had basic summer tires, I guess you'd call them down here. They just are the tires that we use all the time because there's rarely any snow. And we spun around, and I didn't drive at all. Once we got up there, Scott drove, and it snowed, and it was just crazy. It was just, and it was like people were watching us, and they were like, those stupid Southern bumpkins. When Scott enlisted, basic training was done down in Florida. So it was a different experience for Greg. Isn't it funny how the different age groups, that's what I think we all need to remember, is different age groups have different experiences, and you can't just push your experiences onto the younger kids because everything's changed. Nothing's the same. You can't go back and do the things like they used to be done because that stuff doesn't apply anymore. It doesn't apply. And the kids have to learn all new stuff to make it in this new world. Everything's constantly changing. I got kind of used to that with working in retail because every day you do something different in retail. And now it's even more different because there's no cashiers anywhere you go. All right, I'm going to do just some red berries on here. Okay, let's see, 1980 to 2000. And Scott was in 1977 to 82. And when he got out, the Edward McDonnell was switched over to National Guard, and then I think it was scrapped. So it's no longer in existence. So like I said, things change. Ships change. Kids change. People change. Let's do a little stem out for the berries here. I'll just put some. And this was a prompt from Pam. No, Mary P. Maybe do another little branch. Yep, decommissioned. If you've never been to see the Battleship North Carolina up in North Carolina, it's a lot of fun. When Greg was about between 9 and 11, he was deep into military ships, and he loved Mr. Ballard, and he watched all of those. And then one weekend, we said, let's go see Battleship North Carolina. And it was all we could do to keep up with that kid of ours, because he would run and he'd go down the ladders, and we're older and a little bit wider than some of those staircases in ships would take. So it was really funny watching us chase him around, trying to keep up with him. And its presentation of the history of the North Carolina was very good. We got to see a black bear just running along the road on our way out there. But it took us longer than we thought it was going to take, too. So, yeah, it was a full day to take him to see that ship. Good morning, Safia. So, yeah, we've had some good times with Navy experience in the family. Some sad times. Uncle Jesse never wanted to talk about World War II. He never wanted to talk about it. Because with him working on a recovery vessel, all stories were not, exciting and glorious. A lot of sadness doing recovery. So. There's my pitiful little branch, but let's put some something in the background. Should we do a blue sky again? Maybe with two colors. I didn't put my caps back on. That's not good. I have the postcards ready to go to Linda and Joyce. So they're ready to go. And I got the card ready for Kathy Berg. And then I need to pack up the two patterns for Janet and Lala. And I might include some other things. We'll see. Do a surprise. Yep. I understand, Janice. I do. And we never forced it on him, but we have his duty little picture for Uncle Jesse. We have it on our wall, and we have because Scott was Navy too. When the military came for his uncle's funeral, we had them come and do a military salute for Uncle Jesse because for his time served, and they gave Scott the flag from Uncle Jesse's funeral. So we have that, or we had that. We might have given it to his sister. After all, I don't know. I can't remember what we did with it, but I thought we had it at one time. So I don't know if we still have it or not, because Scott had talked about giving it to Adele because she's kind of the keeper of the family history. She holds on to everything. And Teresa's husband served as in the Army as a generator operator technician. Those guys, they learned so many skills. So if you've got a kid that maybe won't do so well at college, get them into a technical school or the military, and they'll come out with a skill. And the military really knows how to train the kids. They do better than schools do. Because they gotta teach a lot and get the kids to understand it quickly, because all of that is when they have to go into action, the kids need to know this stuff. So yeah. And I'm just gonna do some wavy lines on this one. Just to give me a sky of some sort behind it, or a background. And the kids also have to learn how to be, look out for their brothers and sisters in the military. Definitely different times for every generation has something that makes them unique. Oh, see you. I might pop over to Leanne in a little bit. So I'll see you maybe over there. Wow, 3 purple hearts. That's tremendous service. Wow. All right. I'm not going to keep y'all much longer. I don't know why I'm feeling so chatty this morning. Been doing a lot of reflecting lately. There's a lot to make you reflect about going on. And it just makes me understand that, people will say things to me, and it's like because they don't understand where I'm coming from and what I survived myself. And I'm not going to share that because it's just brings hurt to my heart, and I don't want to go there. But they don't have the same experiences as I do. So I'm just going to let it go and just not respond. And it's not because they've hurt my feelings or anything. It's just, quite frankly, I don't want to go through that suffering again where I feel like I've gotten past it. And until you understand somebody, you're going to say things that hurt people. So we all have different life experiences. We have different environments that we grew up in. We have different injuries, whether it's physical or emotional, that we've survived and we've come out the other side. And yeah, and nobody's ever going to fully understand where you're coming from. And that's how I have to just see it. It's just like, I will never understand certain things because I have a different understanding of the same activities by people exactly like some of the people going on now. Yeah, and I'm not liking my background on this at all. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my black pen and just outline my branch and berries and stuff just to make it pop a little bit. I agree, Safia. There's a reason they never speak of it, and you have to be okay with it because that's how they're coping with what they saw, what they did. And some things you just have to push out of your mind or just come to grips that you'll never get resolution for that. And you simply just have to compartmentalize it off in a cabinet where you can say, well, those people aren't even alive anymore. They will never hurt me again. And I can't keep reliving that same hurt over and over because there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. Not one of us can step back in history and change anything. So there's that. Just be glad that somebody's choosing to have you in their life. And I posted something the other day about, it was a heart, and I made the responses, I've felt alone all my life. And that contains a lot of hurt that, I can't change. But I'm okay. I'm not going to do anything crazy or any of that. It's just a feeling I have. It's like I also have come to grips with, I may be a member. No, it's part of. I am a part of a very large extended family. All right. But I don't feel like I've ever been a member of that family. The way I think is different. I never have felt a member of it. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Back in the day, if you were illegitimate, it was like the worst thing in the world. And you know who caught the most hell is the illegitimate child. So don't tell me every child is welcome and everybody's happy to have you in the family, because my experience is that is not true. So, yeah. That's one of the reasons I have whole different perspective on so many of the issues that are out there in the world. And I say, if you're not living through it, don't push your beliefs on me, please. If you haven't lived through what I've lived through, or if you haven't lived through what your neighbor has, be more compassionate. See what you can do to help. Don't condemn them because they don't believe the same as you. That's a little better. I'm going to give it a little border on the edge too. And then I think I should go before I start saying things I shouldn't on here. But I will say this. Every single one of us is worthy of love, compassion, and family. Whether your family is blood or friends that you've met that feel like family, it's all good. Thanks, Teresa. So I'm going to put my date on the back here. Today is the 15th. Oh gosh, I didn't do it on those other days. I have to hold it up to see exactly where it is. October. Today is the 15th. No, it's the 16th. Good grief. I'll have to change that. I think I put the... That's okay. I keep thinking it's 2026 too. I don't know what's wrong with me. So this was the 13th, 14th. Oh, I almost didn't get that one in the square. And the 15th was here. So I'm looking forward to craft and chat today. And poor Anne. I hope they're quick about the loudness because I remember how loud it was when they were in here doing the floors. And I did a little short of just a little bit of that time where they were using those little, I call them the screaming demons. They're like this tool. It vibrates and it's got a tiny little blade on it and they used it to cut the boards. And then there was circular saws going and just the thought of it makes my head hurt. So there's my branch with berries that Mary recommended. There we go. It's not very good. I don't like the background, but let's cross it off here. A branch of berries. Well, I added some leaves. It's got berries on it, so I'm going to say I did that one. So thank you to Mary P. for giving these to us. And nope, it wasn't a reciprocating saw. The blade is like, it comes up and it's only about that wide, and then it's got teeth on here. And then the bottom of the blade is like this. And it fits into the tool. And then this part, it's just really loud, especially when they had like 3 of them going, cutting my floor up. So yeah. So we're filling it in. We might have to do something special on the 21st because that's my mother-in-law's 98th birthday. So we might do an actual birthday cake on the 21st. All right. So I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go over to Leanne's at the quilting. Oh, Melanie said her channel. Pastry Queen Quilting. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, if not sooner. Bye.